you guys can stay updated with fresh trading ideas. Now, I'll be following up today's stream on Wednesday on a special webinar just for you guys to kind of finish off whatever ideas I give you today and then see them through into the end of the week. So there's a two-part to this. Today, we're going to set ourselves up. Wednesday, we're going to follow up and then trade profitably into Friday. So we're going to go over Bitcoin today. We're going to go over US 500, S&P. We're going to talk about NASDAQ. We're going to talk about oil. We'll talk about a couple of Forex pairs. But if you guys have any questions in the discussion that we have here or about Eightcap in general, just put those in the chat. And like I said, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel here on Eightcap's channel, so that way you don't miss any of the future streams. Now, my background, for those of you that don't know me, my background is in day trading. I've been a day trader actively looking for day trades about, I would say, a 2-hour to 6 or 8 hour hold time on most of my trades. I've been doing that for about 6 years now. When I come on and do these streams for various people, I want to be able to give you guys ideas beyond just the day trading stuff. So we're going to look at some lower time frame day trading ideas, but we're also going to zoom out and look at some of the more important levels, more important zones of sensitivity is how I like to describe them on some of these major assets. So let's start with Bitcoin, since that's actually what I've been watching most this morning. So I have a short bias on Bitcoin, but it's a conflicted short bias. So on the day trading side, if we actually start with the 15-minute time frame, I like Bitcoin for shorts today as price moved lower last night, couldn't break back above and hold above the 21 EMA during the Asian session at about midnight last night, a little bit before midnight for me. And it's since just held that 21 EMA and set itself up to come lower. If we add on one of my favorite indicators, which is called the TDI, a Trader's Dynamic Index, I only use the RSI and the yellow market sentiment line of that TDI. They really give me a good idea of trend. What I like to see, and this is a really good tidbit for day traders, swing traders, whatever, I'm looking for perfect trend, specifically from the changeover of day, which is right here where that vertical dotted line is. Since today, and even into yesterday, but just more important today, since that yellow line is under the 50 value all day, that tells me that the short bias is in clear control today on the day trading side. So that tells me I want to be selling Bitcoin today going into the New York market open in about 30 minutes. What I'm actually looking for is a brand new strategy. We've backtested about 20,000 trades using Python and found that this is about a 60% win rate strategy. It's called the A2. That's the name we've given it. This indicator actually paints when you should be taking the A2. There's a lot of discretion involved in the A2, but this indicator helps you at least spot the entry. And as you can see, this presented at 8 o'clock this morning to tell us that there's a really good price here at about 20,700 for shorts today. However, I was on a networking call this morning, so I'm not currently short, but as we get closer to market open, depending on how we open, I will look for Bitcoin shorts today. Now, if you want to learn more about this A2 indicator, I will plug a webinar that I'm hosting at the end of this month. It's at the end of November. Go to my website, www.asfx.biz, and there'll be pop-ups there and information there on how you can sign up, or go to my Instagram, AustinSilverFX, Twitter, same handle. You can find the link to sign up there. That's when we're going to be explaining how to apply discretion and the rules with this A2 strategy. So, like I said, short bias on the lower time frame on Bitcoin today. Why I'm conflicted about it, as I said a few minutes ago, is because of the daily time frame. The daily time frame, we have the 8 EMA above the 21 EMA, the yellow above the red. That tells me that short term we are bullish. However, we've done this a couple of times recently. Go back to July. We had the 8 cross above the 21. It held that upshift, that's what we call an upshift, until August. So it was about a month where it remained in an upshift. But price did not move much past where it initially pushed to. It only went from about 22,300 to 25,200. So not that big of a jump once those EMAs crossed. There wasn't a ton of bullish momentum, only 13% gain there. Again, here, back in September, we crossed the 8 above the 21. It only lasted for 4 days. 3 days, and then it came right back down. That was only 6% that time. Even less more recently at the beginning of October. So now, let's say we get an average 10, 12, 13% push. You're looking at maybe 23,000 as far as upside potential on Bitcoin. To the most, in my opinion, right now. If we look for structural levels, I like to use pins to draw my zones. Here you can see a very strong zone that we're trading under. And on the bottom, you can see from the low back in June, here's a bottom that we've respected really well. So if we were looking for long-term swing trades, I would not be short until we break this zone at 19,000 and get down into the 17s or 18s. I'd be looking for a retest of this zone to trade this, swing trading it to the downside. Day trading it, I'd be happy to day trade it today from the 8 EMA back to the 21 EMA. That's why on the shorter term time frame, I'm leaning into that short bias today. We could start to see this slow down here, and here's why. Let me erase those two white lines. If we just take one more zone and go back here, you can see this is the zone that we found support at. We broke, and then it becomes resistance. It was resistance here. We couldn't stay above it. It's been resistance already towards the end of October here. So we could easily slide out of this zone at 21,000 back into the 20,000, 19,000 range. Absolutely. And we could trade sideways in between these two zones for a long time. So if you're looking for higher time frame trending swing trade ideas, I would either be bullish short term or bearish and waiting for a breakout to the downside, waiting for the EMAs to shift down. So that's what I'm going to leave you with on Bitcoin for now. Let's take a look at US 500. Now, we know the indices tend to follow Bitcoin, or maybe Bitcoin tends to follow the indices. The reason for that, the reason why they move together often is because they're risk on assets right now. People are saying, when I want risk on, I'm either buying stocks or I'm buying Bitcoin, because they're both going to move. I personally like Bitcoin because it's more volatile, but not for investing, of course. For investing, the US stock market is hard to beat. So in this situation, and we could be a little funny here and say, now that the Phillies did not win the World Series, maybe the bottom of the stock market is in. Bitcoin's in an upshift. US 500 here is also in an upshift. Let me turn off that indicator. 8 EMA is still above the 21. If we get a bullish day today, we might see bullish follow through into the rest of this week until Thursday. Tuesday, we have congressional elections. I don't think that's going to rock the market too much. We'll have to see and then talk about it on Wednesday on our webinar. But I think the bigger news this week is not the bank holiday on Friday. It's not the congressional elections on Tuesday, but the CPI numbers on Thursday. That is what the entire market is going to be looking forward to this week. Last time CPI came out was October 13th, and then before that, September 13th. If you look at price action on those days, October 13th is the day we hit our potential bottom, was the day inflation came out. That inflation report came out higher than forecast. It was forecast at 8.1. It came out at 8.2. Which means inflation is actually speeding up, moving. Inflation increased a little bit more than they figured, and stocks went up, which was very confusing. If we look back to September 13th, stocks tanked that day. They got slammed. September 13th, we beat by 0.2. Forecast was 8.1. We came out at 8.3. Look back at August 10th. That's when the last time we missed. August 10th was right here. We missed, and that makes sense. If we miss inflation numbers, then stocks go up. So it's very conflicted on how stocks will move on this inflation print, but you can see those are typically big bars. Whether it's a wick and a bar, it's just a lot of price action on that day. So we'll be definitely paying attention to the CPI news on Thursday going into our trades this week. These are the levels that I'm looking at on US 500. It'll be similar on on S&P. I think 3,800 above us is a key level of resistance that we've bounced off of recently. So I'm not going to forecast that we break through it. I think we might find more slowing there. In the same respect, 3660 to the downside, I think is another level where we might find slowing if it does want to move lower. With sentiment, the yellow market sentiment line down here, so bearish at 42, I would like to think there's more bearish momentum still in this than bullish, which would probably say we get a new low before we get a new high. I think we could see a lot of sideways movement over the next year. But in the short term, it looks like we could be at least getting set up for a new lower low. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ last week actually broke for a new low of year. NASDAQ, to me, looks extremely bearish on the daily time frame. The only zone that I would be concerned with, we're now underneath it. This was the low set back on June 13th that everybody was staring at. Now everyone is trying to say, well, is the low set in here on October 13th? This pin? Right here that I'm drawing the pin around. I think this is much more bearish than bullish. We've already taken out this zone. We haven't moved high above it. We're respecting, it looks like, a shorter term zone in here at like 11.6, 11.7, 11,600. If we can hold 11,500, 11,400, or even 11,300, this is going to stay bearish. Look at the sentiment line. 8 EMA is under the 21. Tech stocks just don't look bullish. If we start to bottom out here, meaning we start to move higher and the EMA shift back up, sure. Then short term, you've got to react and switch to being bullish. But right now, this is screaming to be bearish on NASDAQ. US 30 is the most complicated one. US 30 looks bullish on the EMAs and the market sentiment line is rising, but it's still structurally making new lows and, lower lows and lower highs. So to me, US 500 is a great interpretation of the mix because it's in an upshift, but price is kind of under the 21 EMA. So it's showing the indecision that you're getting between NASDAQ and US 30. When NASDAQ's bearish and US 30 is bullish, US 500 is going to look indecisive like this. And it could be indecisive, like I said, because of the Thursday news print. Let's turn now away from indices and look at oil. Oil is in a short-term uptrend, 8 EMA above the 21. We're starting to get push off that 84, 85 price level that we saw this thing hold for a long time. I'm very interested in oil only because I think you could see oil honestly come back down. This to me is in a downtrend. We're making lower lows and lower highs. Whether this wants to slow down here or not, I think above us, the zone at 92.6, 92.5, if that's held short term like this week, I would definitely be bearish going into the newsprint on Thursday. And above that, you still have some resistance here at like 97-ish. Yeah, 97. So I think there's a lot of resistance above and not a lot of demand out there. Like travel is a little bit down. People are spending a little bit less because gas is more expensive. So I think you might see this continue to fall. Shipping costs have dropped because there's less global shipping. So there's a lot of factors that play into oil. You could also just believe that oil is manipulated and that whoever controls this price will move it wherever they want. Part of me, in a way, 1/10 of me believes that, because it's crazy to me that oil doesn't move more than we've seen. Gold is really interesting. Gold could be triple hitting this level at 1600, 1620. If we hold 1620, to see gold come up, I'm always going to be bullish gold. I have a hard time being bearish gold. I don't understand how gold is down this year so far, since 2022 started, basically. But, it moves on its own sometimes. I think that this level long-term, if we go to a weekly chart, it's a great level to be looking to buy gold for like long-term investing. I don't see gold going to 1,500 or 1,400 an ounce. I just don't see that. Not with inflation as high as it is. And if inflation comes out high again this week, I would expect gold to move up. So I would be bullish on gold. And remember, last week I left you guys bullish on silver. Silver's moved up really nicely over the last week. Strong bullish candle last week. We finished with more bullish momentum here. So notice there's clear resistance above at like 21. We're at 20.8. If we can break out above 21, you're going to see 22 or 23, I think, very quickly on silver. Sentiment has now moved up into the buy zone. Sentiment is now bullish. A lot of what I do, everybody, is very reactive. I don't forecast price movement. I'm reacting. So here, this is moving up. It's showing support underneath it. We want to stay bullish, silver. I think what we're more bearish on than commodities is indices. US 500, NASDAQ, US 30, I think they're going to be more bearish than bullish. Bitcoin, like today, setting us up for shorts. If we start the week bearish, we come off that zone at 21,000. If we can break out for a new low today and head towards 20, that whole number of 20,000 way down here, I would say that's going to set a hard trend for the week, Now, to transition really quick, I want to talk about some Forex pairs, giving you guys some ideas there. GBP pairs caught a move this morning with no news, nothing. They all moved higher. Overall, GBP pairs have been getting smoked in the last couple of weeks. Smoked. So to see some bullish momentum, it makes sense. Since we had that huge push down on the GBP pairs where GJ went to 149, it's now bounced to 167. It's a strong bounce. This type of move is what then sets the trend for multiple weeks. I think if you look at the GBP pairs, if we start to base out, we start to show support, we're going to see more movement to the upside. I love looking at like the daily time frame to then try to confirm it on the shorter time frame with my trading. Today, I like to use average daily range. Let's see if I can turn that on here. ADR will tell us like some of these GBP pairs have moved what they move on an average 5-day basis. Like GCAD today already moved 177. That's what it does on an average daily basis. GU, 193, 193 pips. It already hit average daily range. When pairs hit average daily range, I don't like to trade them. So like even EJ at 142, it almost touched the green lines. It's close to ADR. I don't need to trade it. It's telling me it's already done what it does on a normal day. Versus something like ECAD, which looks really bullish today, ECAD still has space to touch that line. ECAD still has space on ADR then. So that means we would still consider trading it if the risk reward is good. Bitcoin's ADR, which Bitcoin is like an indice where sometimes it doesn't respect it, it still has not touched ADR. So Bitcoin has moved movement to the downside today. So if you're watching this on Monday and you're looking for really good trade ideas, Bitcoin is where I would be most focused. That is where I will be most focused. I finish up this live stream and I run a live stream for our subscribers on ASFX TV. You can go to www.asfx.tv. It's like Netflix for traders. You get to watch me and other full-time funded traders navigate live. So when I get off here, I'm going to be going live with them. I'm going to be looking for shorts on Bitcoin with them into market open. I'm hoping market open will shoot us up, give us some good sell prices up high, and we can get short from a higher price. That's always what I'm trying to do. That's what the A2 strategy that we're going to be talking about on that webinar. That's basically what that is. So Forex, I don't trade a lot of Forex. If I had to leave you guys with any ideas, I would say EURCAD bullish today is a really clean trending L50, really nice looking EMAs. I like that. EURUSD back at that 1.00 price level with a bullish market sentiment line tells me we might catch more movement up. As EURUSD comes up, you know that means the dollar index is losing strength. So the dollar index is down today back to 110. Just a few days ago, we were at 113 looking ready for 114. So with movement down on the dollar index as the dollar weakens, EURUSD is going to continue to gain strength and continue to pick up. But I'm not that focused on those Forex pairs because they've been really choppy for me, where I've been trading the indices extremely well. I have an 84% win rate since July on Bitcoin and the indices. So let's see if we can think of anything else. Silver today looks bullish. Even on the 15-minute, this looks bullish. Ethereum just looks just like Bitcoin, very bearish. Very bearish. But we'll see how the open comes in. Now, Mondays are my least traded days. Like if you look at my trading report card, so this is where we built this for our mentorship group. We have a private mentorship group where we coach traders every day individually. And we built this spreadsheet where they can track their trades, their habits, all of this stuff. And what this does when you put your trades in here, it tracks your statistics beyond what like MyFX book or something else would do. So here you can see I've been tracking since July 11th. I've had 49 trades, 8 losses, 41 wins. I am up 15.7% since July 11th, so pretty good. My average win is 0.47. My average loss is 0.42. So pretty good there. But you can see on Monday, I've only taken 7 trades. I'm 7 for 7, so I have a really good win rate, but I've only taken 7 trades since July on Mondays. So not a lot. Mondays and Fridays are my least traded days. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I trade the most. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do the least. 7 trades on Monday, 8 trades on Wednesday, and then 7 trades on Friday. But I'm perfect so far since July. Monday and Friday, 7 and 7. And you can see here, most of my trades, 34 out of the 49, are A2 strategy. I still use the other strategies that I built. Those are like most of you probably know me from teaching those because that's what I've sold courses that teach those strategies for a long time. They still work. Like I'm still trading them profitably, but the A2 is what has my attention most. And look at the pairs that I'm trading. You could see 25 out of my 49 trades are on Bitcoin. 22 wins, 88% win rate. Why would I trade anything else? Forex pairs just cost me money. See? So a lot of what we preach, and this is how I coach traders, I tell them, do less, do it better, do it bigger. That's our trademark little saying. Do less, trade less, do better. Trade the best setups and then just get bigger. Get prop firm money, get capital behind you, and get bigger behind those setups. So for me, I study all these statistics because I want to know, all right, Forex pairs are sucking for me, but I don't even miss when it comes to Bitcoin and the indices. When I'm really selective like this, I make money. So if I'm looking at these numbers, it's very clear what to do less of. For me, do less Forex pairs. Also, you could say like here, based on my win percentage and my percentage gain, 6 to 8 a.m., I trade the most. I have a 71% win percentage, which is low, and only 0.84% gain. So I'm doing the most and I'm not crushing it then. I'm crushing it once we get into that New York session and even in the afternoon. That's where a lot of my gains are coming from. The morning, you can see some days I make money, some days I end up break even. That's basically what this is saying. My average loss is actually bigger than my average win when it comes to this time frame, but I have way more wins than losses, 15 wins out of 21 trades. So it's really good to study all these statistics. And we give everyone that joins the Black Shirt Club, we give them this tracker. So you would get that if you were interested. But I think that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. It's a good 20 minutes to give you guys some great trade ideas. So we talked about Bitcoin and the indices. We're more bearish than bullish going into the CPI print. We'll see how that plays out over Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll talk Wednesday. I'm bullish on commodities and on currency pairs. Right now, euro pairs look like they want to move higher as the dollar wants to weaken to start the week. Is that how we finish the week? I don't know. We'll see. We have a lot of news this week. Congressional elections are on Tuesday. Then we have the CPI on Thursday. Veterans Day is a bank holiday on Friday. So it's a weird week, not a super clean week. But I'm more bearish on indices and Bitcoin. I'm more bullish on euro and commodities. So that's what I can leave you guys with. And I hope that those ideas help you guys make some money. Please do me a favor again. Make sure you subscribe here on the Eightcap channel. That way you don't miss any of the future videos that we put out. Make sure you sign up for my webinar on Wednesday. I want you guys to be there so we can talk about how these ideas played out. And good luck. Happy trading. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Let's connect. Let's stay in touch. I am always appreciative of people that give me the time and give me the attention. So thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.